I'm getting the question on a regular basis where people say to me, honest, I want to refinance my property in order to buy more, or use other people's money. In other words, they imply that they're going to use negative gearing in order to grow their property portfolio. And this is typically what we find in mainstream advice, and the reason why it fails. Now, as long as the market is doing what it's doing and is going up, no problem. The problem is the moment that that market starts moving sideways or take a negative turn. That is where the problem comes in. And the reason that I see why people are caught in this is because of confabulation. Now, confabulation is when you do not know that you don't know what you're supposed to know. You see, when we want to buy properties, emotionally, we're in this state of mind where we see that this is a nice property, it looks good, it feels good, and we've got certain bragging rights where we can go and say, this is my property. And especially if the property is in the right area and the right location and stuff like that, that's great. But here's a problem. If you do not stress test that property before you actually sign, right? Or you get into the deal of refinancing before you actually sign that refinancing, there's a problem. And this is what I'd like to talk to you about today. So let's look at what mainstream is saying and then what the Wealth Creator Strategy is saying. The mainstream simply says, use other people's money. If you followed Robert Kiyosaki and the American people, the problem is in America and in South Africa, it's two different ways of looking at that. In America, the property is the security. In South Africa, you are the security, plus the property. And that is where the problem comes in. In America, they can fix that term for 5 years or 10 years, in the olden days up to 30 years. With South Africa, it cannot happen. You can secure that interest rate, but for maybe a year or two, and you're going to pay at least 3 to 4 percentage points higher than what you currently can get that for. So you can't compare, use other people's money. Now, did I start that way? Yes, that's the way that I started. But I knew, because I had the Property Pro investment system and I understand and I've got the skills, how to stress test this property. In other words, what would happen if the interest rate goes up to, say, 24%? Luckily for me, very early in my career, in 1987, property, the interest rates were 24%, right? And on property, sometimes 24 plus 1 or 2%. So I understand what happens. In 1999, exactly the same thing happened all over again, right? Now, the younger generation, if you've been in the market for the last, let's call it 17 years, you do not know about what can go wrong in property. But I've seen what can go wrong. In 2008, there was a massive crash. Although the interest rates were not that high, there were no buyers at that point in time. So what's the mainstream? As I've said, use other people's money. I think it's perhaps one of the biggest mistakes that people can make. Another thing is use leverage. That is what creates wealth. A very popular, Robert Kiyosaki as an example. Nothing wrong in America. In South Africa, it's your financial future that relies on that. And then a very popular thing is to refinance a property in order to buy more property. This was very popular here in 2006 to 2008, and there were groups that focus on that. And I see nowadays it's starting to come back many years later, because people have got very short memories. You see, in 2008, when everything, there was booms here in South Africa, and the banks were dishing out money like it's going crazy. And then when the downturn comes, suddenly nothing makes sense. And this is what I'm telling my students, and I'm taking them through a stress test to see what's the worst case scenario that can happen. How can you survive the worst case scenario? Because if you can survive the worst case scenario over a 10 and a 20-year period, no problem. So the moment that we look at the Wealth Creator Strategy, we check the IGR, your investment growth rate, to determine the real growth, not the area and not what other people say. That's the only way. And if you want to become financially free, your IGR, the growth that you're going to get on the property, your investment in that property, must be bigger than your FFGR, financial freedom growth rate. So before you start ever investing in property, first look, what growth do I need to get in order to get to my goal for the amount of money that I've got available? And that's part of the stress testing of property that I'm using the Property Pro investment system. So, for example, you've got R1,000 per month that you can invest. You can qualify for a bond, let's say 10,000 Rand, but your investment portion is R1,000. In other words, if you can get someone else to pay, the tenant to pay, let's say 9,000 Rand, your shortfall is just R1,000. But now we have to see how hard is this R1,000 going to work for you over, let's say, a 10-year period. And let's assume it's 65%, right? If you got R1,000, you want 10 million over 10 years' time, you can go and check it out, it's about 65%. Immediately we're running into a new problem because that one property will not be able to give that to you. In other words, you have to build a property portfolio, which means that you must have the skills. Now, 99% of property investors do not have that skill. So the first 5 years, it looks great. But how do you maintain that growth? And this is what we are talking about. Because it's the growth on your investment that's going to make you rich, taking risk into consideration. Now, what is risk? Risk is when you do not understand what you're doing. How do you offset risk? 4 high-value skills. We teach this in the Wealth Creators Method. And unless you can apply that independently of the property, stay out of the property market, because that property market is going to bite you like it's bitten many, many people. So it's the growth that makes you rich, but the cash flow is what keeps you alive. So we need to become aware of what can happen, what can go wrong, how do we offset it. We use the Mercedes principle that I teach in some of my material, right? But unless you can stick to that Mercedes principle, be very, very careful to get into property. So the moment that you follow blindly this, other people's money, and that the bank is going to make you rich and that you have to gear, be very, very careful, because things can turn against you very, very shortly. Let me give you a practical example. Let's assume a couple of years ago, the interest rate here in South Africa went down to, what's it, in 2020, to about 7%. Let's work on 8.5%. So 8.5%, you want to buy for the first time a property, you can qualify for 100% bond. You go to the bank, your income is about 25,000 Rand. You qualify for an 864,000 Rand bond at a 8.5% over 20 years, and your repayments 7,500 Rand. You're renting that property out, so you start using gearing, right? And you are getting 4,321 Rands per month. This is the actual case study that we had a couple of years ago. So the bond repayment, 7,500 Rand, the shortfall, 3,179 Rands. You personally have to cover that. In other words, the property, even if it's in the company, you have to subsidize. So you have to make sure that that 3,100 Rand grows at your at least financial freedom growth rate. In other words, higher than your financial freedom growth rate. In other words, the real growth, the IGR, should be higher than your financial freedom growth rate. Let's say it's 65% in this case. But the deal has been improved. You feel great about this new property that you've got, and you say, okay, in this case, this property specifically at the IGR of 57, so it looked incredible to start off with. And the logic behind this is, where do we get that 57%? Is that negative cash flow of 3,179. If you combine all 27 variables of property and you read it through the Property Pro investment system, for example, in the Property Accelerator Masterclass, I'll take you through that process to show you how simple and easy it is to determine your IGR. But this is only one part. We haven't stress tested that property. And in this case, it looks like a great property on paper. And you say, I'm going to buy the property. Just hold the horses for a while. You see, when we do the test, what is going to happen if the interest rate goes up to 18%? It has gone up from 7%, I think, to 11.75% here from 2020 till now that I'm shooting this into 2026. Okay, so the baseline when you bought the property, when you could afford the property, were 8.5%. You could buy that and afford that property to do it. But now suddenly, guess what? The interest rate spikes, inflation spikes, and with that, there are adjustments that they're going to make, because they have to stop the growth, that it's not too fast here in South Africa. And for that reason, they start pushing up the interest rates. But now you have to pay, because it's a variable interest that you've signed for. So let's have a look at what happens. When you signed the papers at 8.5%, it was 7,500 Rand cost. Your rent was 4,321. Your shortfall, 3,000 Rand. You could afford it easily. You could afford 5,000 Rand. So you felt safe. At 80%, everything changes because now the new repayment is 13,337 Rand. Your rent is unchanged. The old shortfall was 3,179. The new shortfall is 5,837. Immediately, there's a crisis here. You can't afford the property. But here's a problem. You're not the only one in South Africa that's been caught in that trap. There are thousands of property owners, homeowners, that is sitting in exactly the same thing. And now they have to subsidize this with a monthly loss of 9,600 Rand that you haven't got. So what's the add-on effect of this? You're going to start maximize your credit because where else are you going to get it? And you can't sell the damn property for the simple fact that there are thousands of people that are dropping it. But not only are they dropping the price, there's another problem that comes in, and that is the liquidity trap. Why you can't sell. When you bought this property for 864, that's what you qualify for 25,000 Rand. The same 25,000 Rand, the moment that this happens, the new owner can qualify for only 485,000 Rand. So there's a shortfall in terms of negative equity for the same amount of salary of 379,000 Rand. Now you've got two choices. Either you're going to let that go and take that knock, or you're going to keep on to this property, hoping that the interest rates and the markets are going to change. But you can't do that because now suddenly everything starts getting into jeopardy. In other words, your credit cards is being maxed out. And what happens when that happens? Well, then you put the property on the market. And then when they sell it, you are still in for that 379,000 Rand negative by the banks. I hope that you can see that we are sitting here with a double blind. First of all, there's a holding cost that is 9,600 additional. Your personal income is exhausted. Plus, you cannot sell. There's an exit block because the purchasing power of the new buyer is 44%. This simply means that the IGR collapses. And for that reason, how on earth are you going to survive? Now, if you follow the Mercedes principle and you do what we are teaching in terms of stress testing, no problem, because you know what to do and you know where the money is and how to get to the money. But we enter then into a desperation cycle the moment that you have not made provision for this. First of all, the market is flat. This means owners are panicking. The prices drops even further because there's an additional spike in terms of supply. The second thing is a debt spiral. So using the credit cards and overdrafts to fund that 9,600 Rand shortfall, that's going to bite you because suddenly the interest on that is up as well. Now you go to the bank and you say, okay, I want to use this property to refinance because in the past it has worked. Suddenly the bank says, let me see your financials. Let me see your income. Based on the income at 18%, there's no ways that we're going to refinance even 10 Rand on this property. Can you see the dilemma that you are sitting in? And they reject simply your application. Now you're forced into insolvency or into a place where this property that were supposed to help you to get to financial freedom is not going to help you anymore. And this is what you need to be aware of. So negative gearing is not just a tax strategy, and be careful for this tax strategy as well. If there's a loss on this property, how can you use the tax for that? Because it's going to be ring fencing, and if it's in a company, you have to subsidize that through a credit loan account. In other words, there's no deductions from a tax point of view if you get your structures incorrect, right? And people don't understand because they don't understand property. They don't understand what the impact of the 27 variables will be. The moment that you understand it, no problem. So this high interest environment, that thing that seemed like a great thing, is the thing that's going to take you out of the market. And not only is it going to take you out of market, it's going to take you out of financial freedom because now you are stuck and you can't get that growth to make up for this that has just happened with you or that is busy happening with you. And for that reason, I stress. Now, a lot of people say, honest, you're negative I'm not negative. This is in real life. I've been in this game for more than 40 years, 23 years, 24 years now as being a mentor. And my job is to inform you so that in the event that something bad happens, that you can survive. So what is the strategy of a short-term failure, like what has happened several times here in South Africa? Over the long term, you're going to find the way that we stress test is going to return. You're still going to see the 57%. But on the short term, this is where the cash flow crunch is going to be. And this is where, if you do not understand property, you're going to be caught in this, and it's going to take you out of the market and out of financial freedom. Right. So what is the strategy? Is to get the competency. Is to know how to evaluate the deal, first of all, to stress test that deal when all 27 variables turns against you, in other words, risk. What does that mean? You must have the understanding. You must understand what it is, how to offset that, because the moment that you do not understand what you're doing, right, you are taking the risk, and only you can take a risk. Warren Buffett says risk is when you do not understand what you're doing. And this puts us into a state of confabulation, because decisions that we've made when the interest rates were 8.5% or 7.5%, and what is now happening where the interest rate is perhaps 11%, this is because of confabulation, because you did not know that this could happen. And now you're stressed because if the interest rate goes another 5%, where am I going to get it? And you've maxed out on all the surplus money that you had. So we follow a strategy that we call the Mercedes principle. It's part growth, part debt repayments, and part that we call JOL. In other words, this is after you calculated the surplus, this is the way that you use it. And the debt eradication is crucial. Now, if you do not understand debt, you've got another problem, because not only is it the property that goes up, your car payments are going to go up, your furniture payments are going to go up, your overdraft is going to go up, your credit is going to go up. And for that reason, we've got the debt too. So if you're interested to see how to optimize and how to use it, maybe in the comment section say debt, and I'll send the tool to you for free. Plus, there's a lot of value that we can add there. Now, the moment that you understand the Mercedes principle and you're safe, then there's another strategy that we call the rolling strategy. This is how do we build momentum to ensure that in the good times, that the bad times can survive? Or how can we position ourselves before the bad times happen or during the bad times so that it will not get worse? And the quick cushion is that part that we're using the Mercedes principle. So you never rely on luck when you invest in property. You rely on the sums. And if you do not know the sums, stay out of property. So what I'm trying to tell you is stop guessing. Start calculating. Don't let the market shift wipe you from your wealth. And this is why I want to invite you to the Property Pro Accelerator Masterclass, where I'm going to show you what can happen. I'm going to demonstrate the tool to you. I'm going to show you when is a property a bad property, when it's a great property, what to look for, how to calculate the IGR or the IRR. Most people are using the IRR, which stands for internal rate of return. By the way, this is not the right way to do it, but I can show you, because most people, that's the terminology that they understand, instead of the IGR, which is the investment growth rate, and why your IGR must be bigger than your FFGR. All of that during that masterclass. And then what happens if that deal goes up, the interest rate goes up to 18%, 24%? How do you survive? All you have to do is, you'll find a link somewhere on this page. Go down, click on that link, book for your ticket, make sure that you pitch up. I'm sure that you're going to learn quite a lot. And then also visit my blog. Maybe there will be detail in the description area. And then if you want that debt tool, I suggest that perhaps at least you check that out, because that will help you tremendously. So here's the question: is your portfolio rate proof? If you have questions about anything that we are doing, or about your current exposure, or you need help in terms of running the numbers, now we're not going to do that. I'm going to use that where, if you ask me a question, as, let's call it example. For example, I've got a stress test, a video that I'm going to make shortly, where a person came and he had this incredible investment and then every damn thing went wrong. And when that development came out, there were people asking me, Hannes, will you invest in that? And then I've done a stress test for myself, and based on that, I will not invest in that. Even though sometimes developers, believe it or not, are prepared to give me units for free, just to advertise that. But I will never do that if I am not prepared to take my own money. I will never do that in any case. But if the deal is right, I will perhaps invest in that on condition that the sums make sense. Now, unfortunately, there were more than 500 investors investing in that, and then that fabulous development, and I see there's a couple of them on the market at the moment. Be careful for those deals. The more juicy the thing looks and the more it can't go wrong, that is, if they have to sell that new development and you get commission kickbacks and you don't have to pay for 3 or 4 months rent, or the rent is guaranteed, or the interest is guaranteed, my friend, know for a fact that those people want to sell properties. They don't feel anything for you. Okay, so if you've got a question, drop it in the comment section. If I can make a video like this, the question was, is getting a good thing, or refinancing, or should I use refinancing? I'm covering all in this little video. Check that out. Okay, so I'm Hannes Dreyer. I'll see you in the next one.